Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Joy of Making Less
Episode 5.
Craft Podcraft.
Cast. Yeah.
Craftcast.
Podcraft.
Sorry, I'm old and I don't
Podcraft.
I don't understand this newfangled technology. Yeah, how are you?
I'm good. I'm Megan.
I'm April.
And we're coming at you from West Denver area.
Yeah, West Denver area, right against the foothills of the Colorado Rockies.
It's a gorgeous day today.
Oh my God.
Did not think it would be.
14 degrees cooler than yesterday.
Yes, amazing.
Praise, love, happy. I had a trim appointment this morning because I'm in my Dorothy Hamill phase of grow out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to grow out my pixie, as you know, and I'm really going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Ooh,
So I've said it like
that's
7
exciting.
times and not done it, but this time I'm going to do it. But I twirled into the hair salon like, hi, it's gorgeous outside.
So pretty.
So happy.
Justin, my husband, and I went on a 10.5-mile bike ride
Very good.
this morning,
Wow,
and then
nice.
took our dog on a brief jaunt around the neighborhood, because that's how it happens, right? That's how it works. Is you get home and they're always like, "Please,
What about me?
Yeah.
You bad parent.
So we opened everything up inside. We have our AC off. It's just awesome.
Delightful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we should open our windows too. Later.
Dragonflies.
Got a dragonfly. Squirrel.
Squirrel. Legitimately.
Anyway, we're so happy to see you all here. Thank
Yeah.
you for coming back. If it's your first time, welcome. We talk about our love of crafting, and some other stuff slips in, but our love of crafting, but slow crafting.
Right.
Definitely slow making, and not feeling like you gotta keep up and always be making everybody's latest release and latest pattern and keeping up with all those trends, because I don't know, it's too much to keep up
Unless
with.
it's your full-time job.
That's different.
By all means, go for it.
But yeah, that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about your full-time job. That's a completely different ball of wax. And, also with the understanding that you do you. It's subjective.
Yeah.
Like what we're saying is making less for us might be making a lot for you.
Right.
And your version of making less might be making 5 times what we're making. So I think it's just subjective and more about the self-awareness and motivation and consumption and intention.
All of those good words. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you.
Okay.
I made a purchase on Poshmark, and I wanted to get into more of the not perfect linen, conscious clothing space, and really invest in some staple pieces.
Yeah.
And I bought...
I'm wearing a conscious clothing skirt as we speak.
There you go.
Yeah.
I bought a dress that I think might be a little big on me.
Yes.
And I was wondering if I could show it to you.
Yes.
And see if we could do some alterations
Absolutely.
to it. Awesome. So...
And
this is my dress.
We did take pictures already.
Yes,
so
I will put them. I will
So we
overlay
can put
them.
those up so you can see. And when you look at the photos, which will be somewhere, it's not a huge. It doesn't look oversized to me on Megan. It's just a little big through the shoulder. So we're going to talk about ways that might. Well, the way I think we might fix that.
Right, but also looking for input if there's any super seamstresses
Major
out there.
caveat.
Or seamsters. What's the gender neutral term?
I think
for
seamster.
Seamster.
Yeah. I think you can say sewist.
Sewist. There we go. Okay.
And those experienced with alterations, which I am not super experienced with alterations, although this one I think I might have.
It is something that I have honestly discovered alterations as like a necessity. I have to hem every single pair of pants that I wear because I am under 5 foot. So
yeah. So what I would do, if we want to take an inch or so out of the shoulder seam, is I would take a seam ripper and undo about that much of the binding. Okay, of this binding, of how they folded it over the bias. It is actually a bias tape that they used. And then I would get this to the right size. I have a serger, so we can serge the edge, because linen does have a tendency to fray. So we could reserge the edge and then refold. You might have to trim
a little bit from
little bit off, snip off the bias. What I'm not sure about is this side, but I think it'll be fine. I think when we trim it and reserge it across the top, it'll trim it down, and then we just refold the bias, and then we start to sew that, and then we can just cut it off, tuck it in.
Gotcha.
And I think it'll look seamless. I've actually done a similar alteration to the side seam, like down here of a garment, and that's what I did. So like down, it wasn't the underarm, the arm side. I did that. I unpicked it, made my change, folded it, trimmed the bias, and then re-sewed it.
Gotcha.
So if you're an experienced person with this sort of alteration, please chime in. Let us know your thoughts. Is that the right way to go? That's just the way I would approach it, and we can see. But it's so cute. Good find on Poshmark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was actually not that much less expensive than just buying it straight up.
Yeah, but the carbon footprint, baby.
Yes. I was trying to be a little bit more conscious.
Yep. It's because that led me to say, well, what's more sustainable, wool or acrylic? Okay, from a sustainability aspect, wool is probably more sustainable because it's you can compost wool as long as depending on the type of dye that's been used on it and how it's been treated. Raw undyed wool you can compost, but in terms of CO2 emissions, which climate scientists, back up, climate scientists, you should do that in slow-mo, or just like scientists agree is our more immediate issue is global warming, and that's CO2 emissions. Wool has a higher output for CO2 emissions than acrylic does.
Interesting.
So I found that really interesting, and I checked a few sources on that, and they all concurred, and I have found that how much different they are depends on what study you look at.
True.
And whenever you're looking at studies, you always got to look at who funded the study.
Yes.
And then take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah. If it's acrylic yarn of America or wool yarn of America.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, so it was interesting. So I think, I used to not use acrylic because I was worried about sustainability and being a good earth person.
The microplastics and yada yada.
Yeah, and the thing is that's why I don't tend to use acrylic yarn typically for garments.
Fair.
Okay? I know we're looking at doing that for the Jethro cardigan. That's to use up a bunch of yarn I already had, but I make the blankets because, quite frankly, I don't wash those blankets all that often. They don't really get dirty. The kids don't use them.
Yeah.
I use them. So it's my own funk, so I don't really care. So I don't really wash them that often, right?
Yes.
So the microplastic shedding is not such an issue. But yeah, I do think about that with garments and making garments. And also, I just find natural fibers more comfortable to wear.
I agree. I'm
skin.
slowly transitioning to using more natural fibers and making sure that there's a higher percentage of natural fibers even in the store-bought clothes that I'm purchasing. So everything just feels softer. I don't have as much body odor, stuff like that.
Yeah, same here. Same here. That's a good one on the body odor.
Sometimes you wear the wrong shirt and you're like, whoa.
I do have that happen with...
all right.
Yeah, so speaking of the Jethro, okay, so I got a bunch.
How many did you get done?
Oh.
Holy moly.
I have been...
You can wee! Yeah, or like dollar bills,
I've been making squares like it's my job. And if
I
only
can't watch TV and make the squares. I'm still so new.
Yeah, but I've been crocheting for over 20 years, and so there's a,
After we recorded the last podcast, April had me over. We sat on her couch, and she lovingly and painstakingly taught me how to make a granny square.
Yeah, but you picked it up so fast, and they are looking good, and your tension is already improving. That's why I said for anybody else, I'd say don't start off this way, but for you...
And at some point, I was like, I don't know. I think I'm just going to keep going, try to get maintain a constant tension, try to find the constant tension, maybe make a few more squares than I need to for the Jethro.
I think
if I can piece something together, and then we were oscillating back and forth to maybe I'll just make it all a blanket at some point.
Yeah.
So
mine,
it looks gorgeous. The cross section of it looks gorgeous.
right? And the colors, I went all over the place. I mean, within a defined color range. I did add like one or two.
Okay.
Because I ran out of this gorge teal color.
Oh man.
So I replaced it with something else. I think I pulled that one.
Okay.
So anyway, so here's all the squares. So I'm thinking...
Maybe hold it up a little higher because of the mic.
Oh yeah, the mic here. Here's all the squares. So, we can lay these out and take a photo.
Yeah.
And because I'd be interested in people's opinions. So one thing I was thinking of doing is not using these for the Jethro because I had this vision of a total color riot. But then I'm like, when am I really going to wear that? You're
going to wear it with that skirt.
Am I really going to wear it?
You're going to wear it to every... You're going to show up in every, like, knitting yarn fest flop, whatever. And they're going to be like, that's amazing.
Well, I was quite the hit with my Find Your Fade shawl.
I know.
But that was a very that's different.
Yes.
That's a shawl. This is... so I was thinking of scrapping it and just... continuing along, just stockpiling granny squares because I still have another Attic 24 blanket to make the coastal blanket, and I did get the coastal pack with the pattern for that one, and then I'll have leftovers from that too, and then just making like a crazy granny square quilt style Afghan.
Right.
Or the other idea I had was actually either just nipping a tiny little like single crochet edge of the arm and band color around each square. It would make them slightly bigger than they're supposed to be, but not much. The other thought I had was just ripping out the last round of color on each one and doing each one in the gray. The other thought I had was, like I said, scrapping it and then going to like a 4 or 5 color with the common border, because the more I looked at the picture on the pattern of the Jethro, it's more like that, and it does look really nice. And I'm like, ooh, that's more mellow, maybe more wearable. I just want to make sure whatever I turn it into, I'm actually going to use. I don't want to make something just to make it and then have it sit in my closet not getting loved and not getting worn. You know, to
even
me,
though it is in the colors that are on your palette and everything like that. I think that it's good to reevaluate before you've gotten too much farther into committed.
Exactly. Because if I do want to turn these into a garment, then I think either I would do the little border or replace the 5th round.
Have you laid them all out kind of?
Yeah, I have, and that's when I was like, ooh, this is going to be crazy. This is a little this is a little intense. I don't know. So we'll take a picture. We'll post it up here. I don't know. As you're watching this, the picture might very well be showing,
and that's
the squares laid out.
I would say that crazy wacky is like really in fashion right now.
But I don't care about that. That's a trend. What I'm concerned about is my own personal style,
and if you're gonna wear it.
Is it going to be a staple that I'm going to look forward to wearing for the next 10 years?
Yeah, I think that the consistent gray does help me make it feel like it's a little bit more cohesive. So this is what my squares are looking like. A little bit more earth tones, a little bit more sky, flowers,
and you got your palette done too.
I did get my palette done. I decided to jump in and make that purchase. I know that it's kind of an investment.
That was with Color Guru.
Yes,
how much was it? Like 125?
170.
170. I think it's
US
gone
dollars.
up a little since I did it.
Yes.
I recall it being 125, but I'd have to go back and check.
But they send you like a laminated thing, and I'm not going to pop it up on the screen just because it's probably copyrighted, and I don't want to rip off of the founder's work and everything. But I am
But if you want to know what the palette is, well, here you go.
Yes. I think that you really helped steer me towards that.
Are you glad you did it? Did
you
find it valuable?
I found it very valuable.
Because I would hate to be responsible for you blowing 170 and you're like, well, that didn't tell me anything.
No, it did help. I am a calm autumn which is interesting. So some of the differences between our two palettes is you have a lot of the cooler, richer, deeper colors.
Right, but the clear ones.
Clear ones.
Right.
And I'm in the more muted category.
Yeah.
And some of the more
earthy tonies.
earthy tones. Yes.
Yeah,
So
a gorgeous
a
palette.
a lot of brown, which I don't have a lot of brown.
Right.
They suggested that I don't wear black. It's too cool and clear for me.
Yeah.
And suggested I don't wear clear white either.
See, so
Which
it's
is
so funny
interesting.
because I'm a moonlit winter and I am the bright clear white and the black, no brown, no off-white, no oranges.
Olive.
And when I put them on, I'm like, oh yeah, it washes me out. And so it's so interesting because we're like, you got the color palette I thought I wanted.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But now that I have mine and I've been wearing those colors, I'm like, oh yeah, like this color, not my palette. Not.
Yeah.
But I love the question
authority,
authority, not your mom, not your mother shirt. So I'm like, whatever. So exceptions to every rule.
I
Right?
knit. I brought a sweater that I knit. Let me grab it.
Oh yeah, this is the
Winter's
winter's beach cardi.
This is not in my color palette.
It looks good on you though.
But
the flecks are in your color palette.
yes, the flecks are, and it's just a good staple. I can throw it on
and
with anything.
you can pair it with another top underneath it that is in your palette.
Correct. So
And it provides that nice balance. So I think, like I told you before you got your results back, it doesn't really matter what the results were.
It's a guide.
Keep the clothes that you enjoy wearing, whether they're in your palette or not.
Yeah.
For me, it was just a tool to help start, because I was feeling like I don't have anything to wear, even though I had a closet full of clothes. Right. And now, when I pack to go on a trip, I'm like, oh my God, I have so many cute things. I don't know what to take.
Right.
You know? Yeah. And that's how I wanted to feel. I wanted to feel like I could always shop my own closet and come up with a new fun outfit by combining things in different ways. And now that I have my cohesive color palette, it's driving me to be able to do that.
Right.
You already kind of inherently knew your own palette.
Yes, and I think
I didn't know.
It also gives me the space to get outside of the constant stagehand wardrobe of just black on black. At one point, when I was purchasing clothes in the past, I would just buy a bunch of black. Yeah. And it really made me feel, you know.
Right, and now it makes sense,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, the other cool thing is they tell you what color jewelry you should wear.
Yep.
So I'm more in the warm metals.
Yeah, and I'm in the cold metals, even though I don't care. I don't
care. I've got, I'm not going to go
wear a hodgepodge or whatever.
I'm not going to go and swap out my platinum wedding ring and stuff
and really it's not the extremities, it's right around your face.
Right.
That's what they're really focused on.
Did you end up getting the makeup card?
I did.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, and I honestly I literally wear 3 makeup products. I know. That's just me. I only use I have 4, but I have a liquid foundation that I wear once in a while if I'm going to go out or something. And then I have a Late Cosmetics pressed foundation. That's what I wear on days I do wear makeup. Honestly, if I'm just sitting home by myself.
Or if I'm just going into the office and I'm in my cube,
I don't wear makeup.
I
wear a tinted sunscreen and I move on with my life. And maybe I might pop on some mascara with that.
Yes,
but if I'm just at home, working in my home office, no calls or anything, I don't bother. I just want my skin to breathe.
Right.
And that's so interesting because that's something I've come, as I get older, I'm like, oh yeah, I don't really feel like I don't really it's not that I don't care. I do care. But I'm also very comfortable. And I think aging is a beautiful process.
For sure.
And I'm not one of those people that wants to look 20. Because I'm not that person. And honestly, I don't want to be that person anymore. I've evolved and I like who I am. And that includes my appearance. Yeah, I have sun damage all over. This is a sun damage situation. I feel like this is a skin cancer eruption just waiting to happen. So thank you to my dermatologist who keeps it all in check.
In check, yes.
But I wear a Late Cosmetics pressed foundation, and all of my colors are all from Axiology.
Okay.
And then I wear a Late Cosmetics mascara.
Nice.
That's all I wear. So most days it's 3 products. is my lipstick still on?
Yeah.
I have on, this is Axiology Color Cream.
Nice.
And I don't usually wear lipstick.
No. It looks good on you.
I got my hair done today and I was feeling a little fancy.
Yeah. You always kind of have to like dress up a little bit, I feel like, when you go to the salon so that they like.
Well, yeah, I'm like, I get out, you know?
Yeah.
It's like my social activity.
For sure.
Shout out to Salon Therapy in Denver. No, this is not paid. I just love them. Christy is the owner and she's my stylist. And she's amazing because in 2019 I decided I wasn't going to color my hair anymore because I was already 100% gray, and I would color my hair and then within 3 days I would have the silver stripe. So I was literally coloring my hair every 2 to 3 weeks.
Wow.
And I finally was like, I don't even care. You know, like who decided silver is not a beautiful hair color?
Right.
Because personally, when I see older women with like a really cute cut and nice, so I just think they look so gorgeous.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to embrace it. My scalp hurt all the time. You know, it was time consuming. I started doing it myself rather than spending $300 at the salon.
Right.
Because I lived in Memphis and it was not a good salon situation there.
Yeah.
And anyway, so I walked in and I met Christy for the first time and I was like, I'm not coloring my hair anymore and I want you to chop it off into a pixie. And she looked at me and she was like,
who hurt you?
She was like, yeah. She goes, yeah, let's do it.
Nice.
And
you got to find those people.
Yeah, and she said, I normally wouldn't do that the first time I meet somebody. She's like, but there was just, you were so convicted about it.
Oh, for sure.
And I always had intended to just chop it off, get rid of it, let the color grow out, and then grow it back out. But I actually really like it short.
No, it's cute.
But I am curious because my hair is naturally very curly.
Right.
And I'm curious to see if I grow it out, will the curl
come back,
revive? Because it's gotten to the point where it's like, it's more wavy now than curly. When I had the kids, my hair, the curl kind of fell out. So curiosity's gotten the best of me. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna rock that long silver mane for my 50s, and then, you know, maybe in a few years I'll cut it off again. But you know, I figure life's about embracing change.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yes.
So so we got our squares. So you know, stay tuned to see, do we end up doing Jethro cardies with this particular yarn and palettes, or do we go a different direction? Da, 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 da. Cliff.
Yes, keep looking, keep watching.
What else are you working on? You got some. I
have a finished object. This was I was a little bit late to come and film because I was Kitchenering the toe on my second sock, but these are officially finished. I still need to weave in the ends and block them for real, but I probably just won't block them. But these are...
they kind of just block on your feet when you wear them.
Exactly.
You know? I mean, socks, I think you block them so they look pretty. Right?
Yeah. I'll block them for a picture and that's about it.
Yeah, I like to block them the first time just because...
Or if they're a gift.
Yeah, I always like to block a natural fiber just to kind of give it its bath, let the fibers relax. But I don't
get all the oils off of my hands.
Socks and hats, it's not always necessary.
Fair. So these are
personal opinion.
This is a colorway from Woolens and Nosh.
Was that a self stripe?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
This is one of the last ones. I think this is the last thing of yarn that I got at Woolen Folk last year. So I officially knit through all of that. And I follow Crazy Sock Lady's tutorial for everything but the heel. I did a Sock Explorations shadow wrap heel. And yeah, so.
You know what I really like? I like the detail on the toe. What kind of toe? Because these are top down, right?
Top down, yep. And it's just a regular toe. It's just you're decreasing every other row until you get to half of your stitches on each needle, and then you decrease rapidly.
The Kirchner.
The Kitchener's at the very bottom. The Kirchner.
The Kirchner. I don't know. Yeah, I've been knitting a long time.
It makes the it's seamless at the bottom.
And I don't say that in that accent to, you know. To be disparaging of anybody and their origins. Most of my family is from the South, so it just creeps in sometimes.
You slip back into it.
Because when I'm in North Carolina, I definitely start getting a little twang.
Oh, for sure,
you know? Yeah, these look good. I like
Thank you.
them. Very
Yeah.
nice. I'm into my pair of everyday socks, and I'm on the second sock. And
Nice.
I have been working on them. So she texted me and said, I'm just finishing up a sock, so I'm going to be a little late. And I'm like, what does that mean to you? Because if I said I was finishing up a sock, you'd see me in 3 days. And she's like, yeah, like 15 minutes. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, everybody's got a different pace, right?
I was like, that means something different to everybody.
Yes.
Oh.
So a
you
new
got
craft. This is the first time I've kind of brought this. This is a peonies design.
Is that cross stitch?
Yes,
Nice.
all cross stitch. I have been slowly filling in this first flower here.
And look at your cute little
and I have a
needle
cute little
holder.
needle minder there.
I love needle minders.
And yeah, so I was working on that last night. I'm like, I should bring this in for the podcast.
Yeah,
it's
heck
it's a pretty complicated one. I got the kit on DMC's website, and
That's gonna be nice.
Yeah,
I love the colors.
I think it was labeled intermediate, and I was like, oh, that'll be easy. No, I had to chart it
challenging, huh?
out.
Yeah.
I had to like grid out the actual like webbing, whatever it's called. So
Yeah.
the add 80.
I have only done. I haven't done cross stitch, but I've done hand
Yes.
embroidery. So I took this class, and this is the only time I've ever done embroidery freeform.
Oh, nice.
And
Oh, that's so cool.
we did these
The
little
cute
cactus. Yep, with the little 3D flower, and I just love it.
Cute.
So I hung it in my bathroom.
Yeah.
And I just love it. And she was really great. Class was really fun, and that was a pandemic, way of trying to connect with people. But usually when I do embroidery, the pattern is printed on the
Right.
Ada cloth or whatever,
Yeah.
whatever the substrate is, and that for me is a lifesaver.
Yes.
Having that
You
printed,
can get some of the cross stitch patterns that
Printed
printed
on
that
there.
way, but
Yeah. I know my sister my sister's really good at embroidery, and she'll transfer a pattern onto the cloth herself. But yeah, I've got a couple. I attempted one of the Seattle skyline, and I just don't have enough experience. So I was like, all right, we're gonna shelf that. We're gonna come back to that. Maybe never, maybe later.
embroidery I feel like is harder than cross stitch because cross stitch is just basically pixel art.
Right.
It's like you could
because it's all literally stitching across, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's different ways like you can go across a big like swath of it by
Right.
like doing different techniques and stuff. So like if you're ever interested, I can show you.
Yeah.
I owe you for the
That's
crochet.
okay. I am not in a position
You're
to take
crafted
on.
out.
Yeah, I've got so many. I'm not taking on no new crafts, but I hope we're friends forever.
Yes.
And so there's lots of
Eventually.
years coming.
Eventually.
So yeah, eventually I'm sure I'll get around to that. But,
Okay.
because I've been wanting to get out my Murex loom again and kind of
Oh,
get
yeah.
back into a little bit of weaving.
Yeah.
And bead weaving. So
Nice.
yeah, how's your brioche-alicious
My
coming?
brioche-alicious is coming. I finished the first brioche section and only had a few hiccups. Remember when I saw you at knit night, my dog had like stepped on the back of it and pulled it.
Pulled a place
Yeah,
out.
so I am working on the second garter goodness, and I really haven't been knitting too much on this one, but I'll pick it up
I just
occasionally.
love that teal color.
I know, and then I'm switching it up to a lighter teal after this. So, and luckily that teal was on my palette. I was so happy.
Well, I would have said keep it even if it's not.
Yes,
Because, it's a great color. Like, I really love, like, the rust and the oranges.
Yes.
And, I'd still do it in a skirt or an accessory,
Yeah.
as part of an overall. And I did keep, I made a strata top that is mostly in oranges. And that was one. I did get rid of a few pieces when I got my palette back because I'm like, no wonder that's why these don't work for me.
right. I have a
Top I kept.
Kept it,
because
yeah.
I really like the print. It's her name is Katie. I'll have to look it up.
Okay.
But she designs the fabric. Well, we can pop a picture up of it. But yeah, she's a fabric designer and real big on Instagram. And Katie Cortman.
Okay.
Katie Cortman, 2
Gotcha.
Ks. But she's a riot. If you watch her Instagram, I don't anymore because I'm not on. This is the only social media that I do these days is YouTube. But yeah. Anyway, you have a top that you are going to keep, even though
No, I have a top that I want to get rid of. It is too bright of a blue for me, and it's the Seven Sisters top that I did last year.
Oh.
And that's one of the things they say is like don't do too light or saturated of a blue too close to your face.
Right.
You can do more of the teals, greens, things like that.
Yeah.
So I had already started ripping it out.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, I'll make something else. I thought it was too big. And then I was like, I just don't think that fits with my, like...
Could you mix it with something in your palette and do more of a shawl with it or something?
Yeah, maybe. It's like a thick cotton.
Yeah. Gift knitting?
Gift knitting, or maybe I might cake it up.
Have you ripped it out all the way?
Not yet, no.
It sounds like that blue's in my palette.
I might give it to you then. I'll bring it over. You can try it on. I don't know. It's very boxy.
No, I bought that pattern, and the funny thing was I bought yarn to make one. This was last summer.
Yeah.
I think right around. I think actually I bought the yarn when we were on the yarn crawl.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And when we did yarn crawl in one day, like true warriors. We went to like 15 places because we added Trilata into there. It was
10
also.
total, yeah.
Yeah, 10 total, and all in one day.
I can't do that again this
No,
year.
I was literally like catatonic the next day. I was like, nobody talk to me. I'm not coming out of my room.
Yeah.
And I just sat and like, well,
I feel like we got to the end of the day and we were like, okay, I will not see you for a couple weeks. Like, whoo.
It was fun. Keep it real.
Yeah.
Peace out. Or
Thanks for driving. Kind of
my mom always said that it was real and it was fun, but it wasn't real fun. Although it was real fun.
It was fun.
But
we got our little finisher tags.
It was too much in one day.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah.
It was.
I think we were
yarned out.
We were
for
ambitious.
Sure. Yeah.
That was my fault because I only had the one day.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have the full weekend.
When's this year?
It's around the same time, I think, mid-August. Yeah.
I don't know if will I be here for it, or is that when we're in Seattle for Flock?
I feel like it's the weekend either before or after Flock.
Okay.
Yeah, but we'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
I'll link it below. It's called Wild and Woolly. Yarn Crawl. Basically, most of all
it used
of
to
the
be
yarn
called
stores.
Yarn Along the Rockies,
correct?
Right,
Which
so
I have the bag for.
Same thing, yeah.
Yes, but they basically it's a lot of the yarn stores around the Front Range, all the way down to what is it like? Did we go to You and Me? Were they a part of it last year? All the way in Colorado Springs.
Did we?
We did not. We did not. I think the farthest south we went was Castle Rock. I don't think that we
that's
went.
true. No, we didn't go all the way to Colorado. So are they in it this year?
I think they might be in it this year. But either way, I will link it below.
Colorado Springs is really not that far.
No, when you think about it, no.
Like what?
It's like an hour and a half.
Hour and a half?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember from when we went to my memory. It's not age related. It's always been like this.
You just got a lot going on up there.
Yeah, there is a lot going on up here all the time. Too much going on.
I can't think of it either.
The big place with the water slides and they do the Magi indoor Great Wolf Lodge. Great, I did it.
Yes.
We went to Great Wolf Lodge. That's the last time I was in Colorado Springs.
Okay.
At Universal Studios. Hell yeah, I'm getting it. I'm gonna get the whole thing.
The whole setup.
I'm getting the whole thing.
What house are you? Have we even talked about this?
No, I am Hufflepuff.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Nice. Do you want to guess mine?
Are you a Gryffindor?
Yeah.
That is not a surprise.
Yes, yeah, totally.
Yeah. Yeah, you're a Gryffindor. I'm a Hufflepuff, and I want to say Thomas is a Ravenclaw. He was actually a little bit disappointed he didn't get Slytherin. I think he took the test, my husband, a bunch of times.
Yes, and tried to like fudge it.
Yeah, he came up Ravenclaw every
Justin's
time.
the same way. He is either Ravenclaw or Gryffindor. I can't remember.
Do you remember what your Patronus is?
No.
Mine's a Scops Owl.
Amazing.
And my wand came back as Laurel.
Anyway.
I love all things witchy
Harry Potter. Yeah.
But also, like, it sounds almost comical, real witch.
Yes.
You know, like green witch kind of thing.
Yeah.
No black magic here, people. We're not about that black magic life. We're about the green and the white magic life.
Okay.
But you know, I love it. It's so much fun. If you're into that sort of thing, highly recommend you check out Cherry Wallace.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we watched.
Yeah, we watched the opening. I mean, her videos up into the store are a bunch of unboxing videos,
yes,
which are entertaining and fun. She is adorable. Mm-hmm. But she opened this amazing store in London.
Yes.
Or in that area.
I don't know
maybe it's not in London. We're not from the UK, so we don't know. It's in the UK somewhere. It's called The Lost Cauldron, and I was like texting Megan because she sent me the link, and I'm like, this is exactly what I want my store. I want to open a metaphysical shop, and anyway, so it's fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fun to dabble.
My nerd self coming out. Yes. Yeah, it turns out I am a gamer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a gamer.
All right, so last one, I swear.
Look, okay, no judgment, because I've been busy. I've been crocheting granny squares.
You have, yes.
Like it's my job.
I'll do like one granny
That's
square.
That's a lot of granny squares in 2 weeks.
Yes.
For me.
I agree.
Right?
I'm not discounting that.
And anyway, we're not about that production.
I'm on a deadline for this, though,
you're
because
on a deadline.
I want to wear this on my honeymoon.
It's one of your colors.
It is one of my colors. It pretty much matches this tank top.
I love it. It looks so good.
But this is, I split for the, I split the sleeves.
Remind me what kind of yarn that is.
It is a cotton and silk blend.
I'm all about the cotton and silk.
Yes.
And actually, in terms of fiber, cotton and silk has some of the lowest CO2.
Interesting.
Carbon footprints. So according to this one website I looked at. So take that with a grain of salt.
So I think that the silk is just the Tweety bits.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I love it.
But it feels so good.
Yeah, that's nice.
I think I mentioned the last time, every time I pick it up to
That's the Nord Delane yarn.
Yeah. It is, Lanes du Nord.
Lanes du Nord, thank you.
I don't know if it's
or
focusing.
Laine du Nord or
something. Lan du Nord. But it's 90% coton and 10% seta.
Don't do that.
90% coton and 10% seta. So I only have this one, like I finished one ball already, and then I'm like part of the way through another one, and then I only have this other one.
You're gonna finish with that because it's short sleeve, right?
It is short sleeve. I think there's a few inches that she suggests doing on here, but it was an absolute turd to get the pony cord onto these stitches because it grips so much.
Yeah.
And then it's also been kind of hurting my better for hands a little bit.
Cotton's more clingy.
It is. It is very clingy. So
just try to put socks on a wet foot. This is basically like a wet foot.
Yes. Yeah. I've seen some things recently where people are saying with cotton yarn, it's better to use bamboo needles. Interestingly. But I feel like I'm committed at this point to use my metal needles.
Yeah. And it's going fine. It looks great.
It's going fine, yes.
Tension's great. And that's how did you do a gauge swatch?
Yes, I did.
So you did the gauge swatch on the metal needles.
Yep.
Although, so I think opinions, everybody. It's opinion time. Audience interaction.
Requested opinions. Okay.
Has anyone had any experience switching halfway through a project between bamboo and metal? Because I've heard various opinions in my internet travels about this.
Yeah.
That some people are like, absolutely not, do not do it. They will create a different tension.
Or you could row out.
I've done it. Yeah. Never had a problem. Because those bamboo needles are so highly polished and so smooth, but they do grip a little more, which is why I tend to mostly knit with metal, but I do knit with bamboo. Actually, when I travel, I tend to take wooden needles instead of metal. Not that I've ever personally had a problem with TSA confiscating needles, but I've heard of people.
I think that's about it for us.
Oh, I have been working on my trestle tee.
Oh, good.
There's just not enough visible progress.
That's fair. Yeah, I think I'm going to put a progress keeper. I need the visible progress for my, like, just stockinette in the round forever and ever on that. cotton tee, so I might put like a little, little charm or something on there so that I can
so you
be
can
like,
show your progress
Yeah.
over the next couple of weeks. When's your trip again?
September.
Oh, okay.
So I've got time, but I just want to make sure with all the other balls I have in the air, that I'm dedicating. It's my work project right now. So like if I'm in a long meeting that I don't have to lead or whatever, I'll bring that in and knit on it. So
nice.
I'm sure everybody around me at the office thinks I'm a little nutty, but
I guess my sister pretty much. I think she goes in one day a month now. But yeah, she knits. Well, I can't knit while I'm working.
That's fair.
But I don't. Generally, any meeting I'm in, I'm leading.
Right.
And when we do have, so my go-to for meetings, because we have a monthly staff meeting, and I'm definitely not leading that. And or if we have our annual all company meeting, that's when I get out. I file my nails, and I get out my nail oil.
Oh,
and my
I do that
cuticle
too.
pusher. That's kind of my meeting that I just have to kind of half pay attention to.
Yeah.
Actually helps me focus better if I have a little something to do.
Same with my knitting. It helps me focus better.
I think that's probably true for a lot of people. So if you have a meeting go-to that you work on, and I would be curious, how many people actually can knit and walk?
Oh, I finished
that?
I finished half of my sock on doing that.
Do I just need to practice?
I think you just need to practice not looking at the sock,
Yeah,
or get a plain vanilla sock instead of a ribbed one. That might
right.
help
So you can
too.
just knit round and round and round. Yeah, we'll see. I'm also so part of me is like that would be great, and part of me is like, well, maybe I should just walk when I'm walking.
That's fair, and I'll pick it up when. So sometimes Justin doesn't want to hold Grommet's leash, and I'll hold Grommet's leash, and then sometimes I'll be like, I don't really feel like tugging my 15-pound dog around. So Justin, you walk him. I'll bring my knitting.
Why don't you get a waist leash?
I think he would pull me down.
No, he won't.
He's 15 pounds of pure muscle.
Yeah, but he won't. He won't pull you down. Actually, I love it. I use a waist leash. I've always used a waist leash for the dogs, and that
would work then with knitting. Then
my crazy. We had Did you meet our old dog Strider? No. We met right after I think we met shortly after he passed away. He was crazy. Mm-hmm. He was a terrible dog. Great person, terrible dog. And he was crazy. Crazy. Even our other dog would look at him like, are you serious right now? And really.
Yeah.
He would spin so fast in circles that he would whack his head so hard into a wall or the cabinet that he cracked teeth.
It's crazy.
So anyway, he was nuts, but I used a waist leash with both of them on
at the same time.
Leash.
Nice.
On the same side.
Nice.
And then I always walked with them on the same side, and it was great. I don't like holding things.
That's fair.
But then I thought, you could clip a knitting bag
right.
to
I've
the
got
waist
that.
leash
I've
also.
got the bucket bag.
Yeah.
That's what I'll put it around my wrist.
Yeah.
While I'm walking. I don't know. We could try it sometime.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd be into giving it a go, but you're right. A good vanilla sock or a real simple hat.
Yes. Yeah.
Like
where you're just stockinette.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do it with that sweater because it's so heavy at this point.
Yeah.
So
No, and you don't want to be knitting something heavy with it pulling because it could mess your tension up.
Yeah.
Andrea talks about that in her because she's
Walking
a big knitter walker knitter.
Yeah.
I think she can knit in her sleep, literally.
I think so too. I think she does. I think she designs in her sleep and all that.
Well, yeah, because she's got super knitting powers.
Yes,
but
it's her full-time job.
But I love how she came. If you haven't watched her podcast, watch it. She's adorable. She kind of just started doing patterns as a way to just make enough money as a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
And now she's got a little knitting empire, and her husband is the stay-at-home dad.
Yeah.
So I think he's a musician and a photographer as well. But
Spicy Pete.
Yeah, Spicy Pete.
Yeah.
And
I got to meet him.
You got to. I know.
He took the picture.
To meet her and him.
Do you think she'll be at Flock?
No.
No.
I don't think so.
I think she might go to Sacred Sheep though, in Portland.
I don't think so because she's doing that
retreat.
So the thing,
Seattle.
I don't know if you've, I have never missed an episode. I'm a true fan.
Yeah.
She has health issues.
Yeah.
And I think she's cut back drastically on the amount of trips she does because she tends to get sick when she travels.
Fair.
And she's doing that retreat on Bainbridge.
Right.
At the
Woodby. Is that right?
No, it's on Bainbridge Island at that Wildwood.
Yes.
At the Wildwood, eco resort thing there. It's like a learning center and little resort.
Is that in November?
I think that's in November. So I doubt she'll be at Sacred Sheep this year or Flock. But
gotcha.
She hasn't mentioned going to either of those events. But yeah, I don't know. We'll keep an eye out. You never know. Mm-hmm. But I'm only going to be at Flock the one day on the Sunday.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do a little bit of Seattle tourism the rest of the days that I'm there. And then I think Rebecca and I are potentially planning to go out to Sacred Sheep, but debating whether or not to do like a road trip, the two of us, or if she's going to drive there and I'm going to fly there. We don't know yet.
Oh, rather than like you flying into Seattle and then the two of you driving down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do it either way.
So
it's not that far.
No.
It's like 4-hour drive, I think.
I just feel like it's more fun to do a drive like that with somebody as opposed to like, pick me up from the airport.
Yeah. I'm just going to fly in.
Just going to fly in. Just for a little bit.
Yeah, totally. Portland's such a cool city. Mm-hmm. I got to stop. No more traveling for me after Seattle this year. Because we do want to go to Universal and Hollywood because we want to hit Harry Potter and Nintendo. And Nintendo Land is not open in Orlando. But we'll see. I don't know if we're going to pull that off this year. That might have to be a next year situation.
Fair enough.
Depending on how the rest of the year pans out. We'll see what happens. All right. But anyway, thank you for being here.
Thanks for sticking around if you made it this far with us.
Yeah, if you made it to the end, I don't know. I don't know what these actually look like until I see them when you see them, because Megan does all the editing and she cuts out a lot of the wise things I say.
I don't know. I've dialed back on the editing
I think it's good. I think it's good because we go off on tangents that have nothing to do with anything relevant to making anything at all.
True.
But
sometimes.
Except making us happy.
Yes. So if you enjoyed, please subscribe. I think I looked at our stats and 85% of you that watched are not subscribed. So if you enjoyed us and you want to see us every other week
and just so you know, I think it's good to mention we're not planning to monetize this channel by turning on the ads. So our goal is to keep this an ad-free space. Not to say that if we ever got a sponsorship opportunity, we wouldn't take it. It totally depends on if it's something we both align with and does it fit in and blah, blah, blah. But random ads, so you're safe to subscribe in that way if the ad thing kind of holds you back. But anyway, thanks for being here, and we'll see you next time.
See you in a fortnight.